Seaton Baptist Minister, and one of the projects that we've got involved in recently is this new cafe hub in Seaton Hospital, so right in the centre of the community. And we've been teaming up with Waffle as well, and Restore and Waffle have come together to create this partnership, which means that we can serve great coffee, that we can serve food, but also that we can serve our community and get to know people, build relationships and reduce loneliness, build connections with our local people who are really struggling at the moment, or some of them, and we really want to just be able to reach out to them and make connections. So it's kind of what this place is all about, as well as being able to host groups and different work here, workshops, but just a nice environment to be in where people can feel safe and like they've got somewhere to come and be listened to, and they can share what's going on in their lives in a safe space with people around them who are going to listen. So that's what we're about here. So this all began really in the first lockdown, when we were asked to put together a response to the needs that were arising in our community. Needs for prescription pickups and food pickups, and just reaching out to some of those most lonely people who were vulnerable and unable to come out of their homes, living alone. And we set up some befriending and phone calls to people who were isolated, and through that there was this kind of quite a big sort of springboard for us in just volunteer network, and that led on to us deciding that we really ought to make something that's a bit more sustainable. So we created a little CIC, which is a non-profit company. Any profits that are made go back into the community again, so you don't have anybody or one person taking profit, but actually it goes back in. And we set that up so that we could get more funding and set something up for the long term. And through that, it's given us a real opportunity to do more work in the community. So we've ended up becoming the local voluntary sector representatives in Seaton, which means that we have the privilege of getting to know GPs, social services, local community nursing team, dementia team, and we sit on a weekly meeting with them where we represent the voluntary network, which means that really anywhere where statutory care ends, medical care ends, we're able to step in and offer volunteer services to people, whether that's befriending or taking someone out for a walk in a wheelchair, or popping around for a cuppa, or making a phone call, or providing someone with material goods, or going shopping. We do all of that, and we're in a privileged position where they ask us to provide that. And through that kind of work, we got offered a space here in the hospital to create a hub. Long story short is that we partnered up with the NHS, and they funded this space and given us the opportunity to work with them, and in their space that was an empty shell of an old kitchen that used to serve the wards here, that was shut 6 years ago. And we set up a community cafe hub where we can bring people into this space and build relationships with people and reach out into the community to those that are lonely. And we realised that actually having a space like this needs to provide good coffee and good food, and so we partnered up with Waffle because that is what they do well, but they also have a heart for community. They're also a CIC, so any profits that go from all of their work goes back into the community again as well. So for us, this is all about being the hands and feet of Jesus in our community. It's about restoring, which comes from Isaiah 58, about being the restoration of homes, just seeing people lifted out of all the stuff that can quite often stop them from living fruitful and flourishing lives. And bit by bit, we want to see people restored right through holistically. And that's what we're doing here, bit by bit, is just wanting to see restoration, see people restored And for me, as a minister, of course, I'd love to see people also be restored spiritually, know that there's a loving God who's out there, who wants to know them, who cares for them, who loves them. And one day, I hope I can share that through relationship when the time is right. But that's my heart, is to build those relationships first, realise that people want to be heard, and build those bridges to people in their lives first. So now we've got this space, we've got this cafe hub. Our plans really are to see it open right through the week. On a Monday and Tuesday, those days are going to be given over specifically to community groups. And at the moment, we're just working on a few different ideas. We're trying not to run before we can walk, and we've had lots of interest in kind of coming into the space and using that. We're just taking that slowly and trying to just choose the right groups to be coming in and working. But that will be meaning that groups can come in, use the space for free, and through those different groups, it will be helping to reduce mental health in the community, increase well-being, but also to be able to build relationships. On a Wednesday through to a Saturday, space is going to be open to the public as well. But also, we're right in the heart of the community, but also of the hospital. So we're already seeing lots of hospital staff coming down, and that's wonderful that the space can be used to support them and basically build relationships, give them a space where they can come and hang out. And we're hoping that that might lead to informal kind of chaplaincy, but also perhaps to more formal chaplaincy in the hospital as well. And then on Sunday at the moment, SBC, Seaton Baptist Church, are actually meeting in the cafe because we've been thrown out of our venue for the summer because they're doing some building works, and that's a really interesting kind of opportunity for us. And I don't know where it'll lead at the moment, but we hope that that will give us opportunities to just be in a very different environment where church is just a little bit more informal and just to be meeting in a really kind of nice environment. So we'll see how that sort of pans out. And then we've got opportunities to kind of do out of hours things, to do prayer breakfasts, and a whole range of different things. All of this has basically kind of happened or been helped by the fact that I've been able to get a home missions grant over the last 3 years, which has enabled me to give a day a week through home missions to the community work that we're doing, and it's enabled me to be able to have the time to do that, but also to be able to network with other people through home missions and meet with other people who are doing sort of similar things. And also SWBA have been fantastic. Not only is there really good support through the regional team and people who are really kind of encouraging in this kind of entrepreneurial, doing things a little bit differently, there's a real kind of support there behind what we're doing through the SWBA. And that really helps, knowing that I'm not alone in it, but there's a real passion for that. And also meeting like-minded people who are doing similar things, but also other people who are doing church in a really different way and outreach in a really different way. And just realising that we are all called to our own kind of specific locations and given different things to do, all kind of builds God's kingdom in different ways. This couldn't happen without home missions. I'm really grateful for all that has been given and done to make this sort of possible. We would love you to be able to pray with us for this mission as we kind of work under the radar a little bit in our community, but also that there are opportunities in the week for people to come into a space that's a little bit more kind of spiritually minded, a little bit more kind of churchy. We just pray that we can create good opportunities for people to be able to come in. So please be praying for that and for relationships to be built that are kind of really meaningful. I just encourage you to kind of see this as an opportunity that, if you've been giving to home missions or you've been thinking about giving to home missions, then this is some of the sort of stuff that can happen through empowering and enabling other people financially. So thank you. Thank you for all your support, and if you want to come down and see us here, we would love to welcome you into the space to explain more about what we're doing, come and ask questions, come and have a coffee and see the space, come and support us in that way. That would be fantastic.